and welcome back to Goddess Guidance Tarot, or welcome if you're new here. Today we're going to be doing an energy collective reading about just what's going on right now. What do you need to know? I'm just feeling like clarity. We're gonna get some clarity. So I have my selenite crystal to help with the clarity, and I'm feeling a lot of blue and white and very, very light pink colors for our energy reading. But first I'm going to share and show what your signs and synchronicities are. If you felt called to this video, this may help you to feel affirmed in that this video is for you, or that the messages are going to become true, become reality, as well as signs and synchronicities pertaining to after you finish this reading and you're like, well, I wasn't really sure if that was for me, but then something from our signs and synchronicities messages occurs or comes up for you in your life, and you're like, oh, right, that reading, that was for me and that does relate to me, and I do feel more clarity and affirmed now. So we're gonna get into these. First we have some numbers. I'm actually gonna move these to the side first. So we have 333, which is about optimism, creativity, intuition. It encourages you to set plans into action. Let your personal strength be your guide. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, 444 as well, which is in sequence, numerically speaking. And 666, which I feel like is typically associated with, or stereotypically associated with, being related to the devil and negative things, right? But in numerology, 666 was you're giving too much of yourself, mentally, physically, and or emotionally. In a particular aspect of your life, remember to shift your perspective, ditch obsessive thoughts, and let go a bit. Plus 444 is stability, security, a strong foundation, reassurance that you have a solid base to build upon. Interesting. And we have songs. I'm just gonna pile these differently. So A Whole New World from Aladdin. Together Again, Janet Jackson, I believe. Something That I Want, and Inner Ninja. Time is energy, and with that I'm getting like the image of a clock. Time feels like it's ticking. There might be like a pressure on you right now, or you're feeling the pressure right now in some capacity. Light the match. Yeah, that totally relates with this intense pressure feeling. Like it says a match, but I'm getting the visual of a, what is it? Like a firework stick, like a sparkler. And that relates to how there feels like a pressure on time, like the fire is getting closer to the explosiveness or this intensity. And I feel like you're aware that that's going to happen at a certain time period, and it's causing you some kind of stress, and I'm hearing delays. So maybe there's this time crunch that you need to get something done or finished before you're not able to complete it anymore, but there's been delays that are interfering. Interesting. That's just for some of you, not for everybody. Make memories and look at the birds are your last two signs. I'm getting the image of a book of photos and looking through your memories. If you have a book that is full of your like childhood images of yourself and your family, I feel like you're kind of reminiscing right now, or if you're not physically looking at that book, you're thinking about your childhood and your past a lot right now, and interested and drawn to bird energy, and birds could be a sign for you right now as well. And that's funny, actually, I have a bird on this bowl thing that I hold my signs and synchronicities cards in, so that's really interesting. I believe it's a crane or a heron, but they could be the same thing, so totally open to being wrong about that. You could have a favorite bird, and it's going to show up in an unexpected way for you to provide the affirmation that it is a sign or synchronicity. Yes, as well as blue green kind of color and yellow. I really feel the yellow though, so that is I believe the solar plexus chakra color too. So I think that's about the self, and it's a very, I don't want to say self-centered in like what typically self-centered means, but self-focused and not in an unhealthy way. That's mine's coming up for you right now. And I'm feeling drawn to like rubbing my chest with my palm, like right in the middle near my heart. Interesting. Okay, so those are your signs and synchronicities. Again, everything will be written down in the description, as well as any other signs and synchronicities that come up intuitively during this reading or afterwards. Now we're going to get into the energy reading about what's going on for you right now. What do you need to know? Feels like what do you need to know, and I feel like that's part of the clarity energy I was feeling at the beginning of this. Is things feel kind of muddled potentially for you right now, and you're like, I'm kind of all over the place, I'm kind of feeling frazzled, and that's probably why you came across this reading and you felt drawn to it.
Get some clarity for them right now. I need to.
Like, I'm also getting kind of like backstage, behind the scenes energy. Maybe you work as a stagehand? Or your angels or guides are saying that that's them. They are the stagehand for your life. And they enjoy doing it too.
What do they need to know right now? What does this collective need to know?
It's time to gain a different perspective of you literally versus the world, and not in a competitive clashing kind of way versus, but your relationship with the world in its whole, and also where you kind of stand. There's just a greater perspective that needs to be perceived by you right now about who you are in the world. Yeah, it's kind of like that energy of like, we're just on a floating rock, it doesn't really matter. So there could be lots of things actually that are stressing you out right now and making you feel like, I don't know what to do, I don't know what the next step is, and or you feel like you have potential answers about what the next steps that you want to do in your life are, and it could be like seemingly small things. You could be having a hard time making decisions, but in the grand scheme of things, literally with this picture, right? It's okay. You're gonna be okay. Doesn't matter. I'm hearing it's all going to work out in the end. Interesting. So what else? What do they need to know right now? Oh, that one jumped. Very nice. So now I'm getting the Jordan Sparks song, One Step at a Time, with his baby steps. And it's literally like the energy of it's okay to fumble. It's okay to fall. You just need to get back up again. Metaphorically, I'm literally seeing a baby like taking its first steps, or in the early stages of learning how to walk. Sometimes it sucks and then the baby cries, but they still get back up. They still try again. They still want to go forward and explore. Follow your intuition before it makes sense, this card says, which is really cool. I feel like there's a sense of, yes, you need to get that perspective of zooming out. This new perspective is also gained by you learning to trust more, learning to trust that you don't need to see everything ahead of time. You don't need to have all the answers before you take the steps, baby steps. That could be something you struggle with, and it could cause you, I'm hearing, great anxiety. You can walk through the door, this metaphorical door or a literal door, and have a trust in yourself that even if what it turns out to be on the other side of the door isn't what you expected, or maybe doesn't necessarily feel what is usually safe for you, and if you feel anxiety or you struggle with anxiety, that you can still trust yourself to keep going and find a different path because this didn't work out. That's okay. Or you could be unexpectedly happy with the outcome and what is through the door. What do they need to know right now? Portal, totally. That's my door energy, and that's so funny. This picture here also has this like same door. It's like we're getting a closer picture of this picture and of that energy. So I feel like these are steps that you're taking. So what you need to know is kind of the energy that your angels and guides are backstage supporting you to move towards. Doors are opening. You decide, and I feel like that's you decide to trust. Your decision to trust that you can trust yourself with whatever the outcomes are on the other side of the door will lead to rewards, or it'll be a wild card like they're saying here in this card. But either way, you're going to gain that knowledge that you truly can trust yourself, because you're not going to feel like tripped up by whatever's on the other side, whether it feels good or bad. What do they need to know? I'm getting this top. Oh. The 7-Star Sisters. Birthing creation's tapestry of life. It is safe to express yourself. I feel like that's something you don't know, but another phase of coming through the doorway is the gaining the knowledge that it is safe to express yourself, whether it is received or reacted to in a positive way or not. And I feel like the way you want to express yourself doesn't hurt people. Doesn't, I'm hearing damage their souls, but I don't know what that means. But I just feel like it doesn't bring negativity to the world. It doesn't diminish others. Like, you don't want to express yourself in like a bullying way or putting others down or anything like that. I feel like it's a creative pursuit, or just being more open and honest and in a kind way. You can do that in a kind way, and I feel like you do know how to do that, or you have some inkling about how to do that. The creativity energy I was feeling is you want to bring life to this idea that you have. It could have to do with sewing or artwork, something on a wall potentially, but that I'm also getting with that is like a TV, so it could be something to do with entertainment, and I had that energy of like backstage before. Just your self-expression, it's going to be safe, and I feel like it's actually going to bring light to the dark spaces of the world with your energy, with your creative pursuits, with your creative self-expression. I'm also getting the energy of social working. Surrender to the sweetness. On the other side of this metaphorical or literal doorway, I feel like you're in the darkness right now, whether it literally feels like that for you or just energetically you feel kind of heavy or weighed down, or kind of stuck, stagnant, like you want to go to the next stage, the next level of things, but you're still in the perspective of being wrapped up in all the details is what I'm hearing. So gaining the perspective of like, it's a big vast world. There is a space for everyone who wants to be in the entertainment industry, who wants to be in social work spaces, or who wants to provide a service or be a kind of entertainer or what have you. There's space for everyone who wants to do those things to be in those spaces. Like, if you zoom out of your solely like individual person perspective, zoom out even farther to almost the highest perspective, the biggest perspective is like, we're just on a rock floating in space. And of course, there's only so far you can go with that energy of we're just on a rock floating in space, because there is things that definitely are the details that affect our life and kind of the direction of it, but we do have some control. We do have power still. It doesn't diminish that we have power as well. I'm hearing like it's a long time coming that you're changing your perspective. It's a long time coming that you're going to start trusting yourself, or rebuilding the trust with yourself, because you did have trust with yourself. I feel like as a child, we tend to come into the world with innate trust in ourselves, more than likely, and as we grow up, it's kind of sucked out of us, and I'm seeing this energy, this light being sucked out of a body, and maybe there's still a little bit of a light, a little bit of something energy-wise in the body, but it's pulled out slowly and it's drained, kind of like a vampire. You may have grown in muddy, murky waters, in a muddy environment. It doesn't seem clear, and it doesn't provide you a lot of clarity about yourself and who you are and who you want to be, but you've still blossomed, and you still have the opportunity to blossom more and to spread your light that you have grown into, and also who you innately are. I'm also seeing the reverse of that image and the light coming back in, and this person just like they feel their shoulders sink back and their head is held more high, and they feel lighter. They feel lighter. What do they need to know? Like, this is gonna be your last card. Loosen your grip. Totally. It's that same energy of trusting. I'm actually getting a card from a different deck, same author, but it's trust the niggle. Trusting the niggle, trusting that little bit of intuition. Yeah, so follow your intuition before it makes sense is also what I was thinking about. That second card there. Release the need to cling so tightly and allow the not knowing what's on the other side, not knowing what's going to be there. Fall away from the tight grip on always needing to know, always needing to have information. It probably is a way that you kept yourself safe. I'm also hearing sane. I'm getting kind of a message. You could have an S name that's unique, or be from a place in the world that starts with S as well as another sign. But now I'm hearing get a grip. That could be a message that you got a lot, is like you need to cling on, you need to get a grip, otherwise things aren't going to feel safe for you. That could have been your relationship with the world growing up, is that if you don't hold on tightly to, I'm hearing relationships with people, but also relationships with things. Your life growing up didn't feel totally secure for you. And so you've grown up with the belief that it keeps you safe, yet also it doesn't totally feel safe in that gripping onto things. I'm getting the image of a hawk clinging on to a mouse, and so the things that you're the hawk in this instance, you're the predator clinging on to the mouse, and the more you cling on to things, the more that they want to escape, because they're feeling this almost like desperation energy. And I'm not sharing this so you'll feel like it's all your fault. I don't want you to blame yourself. I really feel like it's not your fault, and it's a training that you've had, is that you need to do that. But what they're wanting you to know, your angels and guides in the background, they're watching the play, they're watching the stage, and you play out the experiences of your life and also interact with the other characters kind of in your experience. I'm getting the image of communicating with each other over those headsets as well. Okay, so put this piece of the set on here now, and okay, time to change the scene and things like that. It's so interesting. So you're definitely supported, even if you feel like, oh my god. And there's also only so much they can do, because they're backstage, they're the stagehands, they're supporting your story. I feel like you're also the director in a way, or the writer of the story, because with every decision you make, you're changing, I'm hearing the lane, but it's also like the path of your life that you're going down. Every decision, every little decision, not to like stress you out about every decision you make, but just that you have the power. You have power still. You're not without power. When I said without power, I was like tapping my chest again. It's very interesting. So between the throat and the heart, I feel like your throat and your heart are very, like, they communicate with each other a lot in terms of chakra energy. They're always in communication is what I'm getting. I'm not exactly clear on what that means, but those are very important chakras for you. It could be something that you need to work on. You could be drawn to the colors blue and green because those chakras are trying to, like, I'm hearing they're trying to ignite, so that if there's a way for you to do any research, or if you already have the knowledge about how to get those chakra energies flowing for the heart and the throat, then that is another thing that you could be doing for yourself on this path, on this journey that you're currently on. Okay, so with this let God in message, I'm also getting that, like, let the backstage angels and guides or just universal energy, whatever you believe in, let them assist, let them step in and provide support for you. So I'm getting the image with that. They're like really heavily leaning on that analogy of the stage and them being stage hands, which is really interesting. You could really enjoy theater, musical theater, things like that. Again, with the entertainment industry, being in the public eye. They could set out something onto the stage, right? And then you just kind of walk around it. You avoid it in a way. So there could be things that they like line up for you in your life or your experience, and you're like, whoa, I didn't see that coming. And it could be something you want even, but you're just in that really not trusting energy. It doesn't feel safe to trust, right? And so you're like, oh, avoiding that. Oh no, avoiding that. I didn't expect it, so I'm avoiding it. I didn't plan for it. I didn't foresee it happening. I didn't make all the pros and cons of this happening in my experience, so I need to exit stage left to continue with that analogy. So I'm feeling like I want to get a card from a different deck for you, just to close this out. 1 or 2 cards. We're going to see what happens.
What else do they need to know? What does this energy collective need to know? What else does this energy collective need to know?
Totally. There's going to be an opportunity for your health to improve, but also your health improves with your not feeling like you need to know every single thing, with your gradually coming into this energy of trusting the not knowing, trusting yourself to be okay with what happens. It doesn't mean that you can't manifest things, but being so, I'm hearing like, feeling like the nose to the grindstone, like your head's on the paper, you need to see everything that's being planned out for your life kind of thing. Letting go of that is going to help improve your health, I feel like, because it causes you a lot of stress, that anxiety feeling like I was getting before. It just improves a lot of aspects of your life, and it's also more of a sense of security, even though you've been like trained to believe that planning everything so intensely and so intently, having all this information at your hand, on hand or available to you, and being prepared kind of almost for anything. And in that energy, I'm feeling like actually you're the scared mouse. The letting go, the trusting is bringing to you. And not that you weren't brought these things before, the financial abundance, the emotional abundance, the deeper connections and relationships with yourself and with other people, because you were. Like I told you in that other analogy, is that the guides and angels, they put them in your path, they put these things in your path, but you didn't feel like it was safe. Like your body said, no, I don't know anything about this, I can't do it, so I'm avoiding it, I'm exiting stage left, right? So in this new discovering trust for yourself, and also trust for the universe, trust for the guides, like kind of accepting the help and accepting that it will work out and you are supported. And it doesn't mean you don't need to do anything and totally lean on them, because otherwise you're just going to be standing there on the stage and nothing's going to be happening. Like maybe they'll put things out and take things away or whatever, but you're just standing there, right? You're not really interacting with any of the other energies that are on the stage of life. Anything else you want to share with them? They're saying things are about to get good. And now I'm hearing that Shania Twain song. I think it's called About to Get Good. Okay, I really hope you guys felt more clarity from these messages and this reading. And if you enjoyed, please give this video a thumbs up. Leave a comment if you feel so inclined. All right, I wish you guys the best, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.